the tutorial on the Criss Cross Capelet. Get ready and let's have some fun. Here we go. Okay guys, once again, I'm currently using ice yarn. This is really a sale summer. This is the number 70058. I'm not sure if you guys are aware, but when ice yarn does a clearance, the band, they switch it out. They only give you very limited information, so you can't find out what the name of the yarn is. All you know is that in this case is 80% cotton, 20% acrylic, and this number is called, the name of this color I believe is called pistachio. Aside from that, it doesn't give us any other details. I believe when I purchased it, it was marked as a 3-weight DK, but it's because it's a roving style. This is really more of a 1. So you can see it's very, very light, and I am using a size 4mm hook. As I mentioned before, this is done in 4 panels, 2 square panels for the front and the back, and 2 triangle panels that are going to be for each side of the arm. It is not based on any number of stitches, it's basically based on measurements. So once you measure your chest from side to side, that's basically how big you want to make your square. So let's go ahead and get started, and I will show you how to work up a square, and I will show you how to work up a triangle. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, as mostly we always start most projects with a slip knot, and that's all we're going to do. We are going to chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you're going to slip stitch into the first chain. This hook is a little big for this size of yarn, but because it's roving, I need to use it. So it may get a little stuck every once in a while, but we'll get through it. Once you slip stitch to the first chain, you're going to chain 3, and you're going to do another 3 double crochets into the center of that chain. Very thin yarn, difficult to hold, so please bear with me. That's 1 more chain. That is 2. And that is 3. Okay, then you're going to chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you'll do another 4 double crochets into the chain space. 1, 2, 3, and 4. I hope you're able to see. Then you're going to chain 4, 2, 3, 4, and 4 more double crochets. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Another 4 chains. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 4 more double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, chain 4 again, 2, 3, 4, and slip stitch to the top, the third chain from the top, which is the first chain 3 that you did, which is considered your first double crochet. So slip stitch, whoops, slip stitch and close. So here you have basically your beginning square. Okay, hope you can see. What we're going to do now is we're going to slip stitch all the way to the next chain 4 space. Okay, once you get to the corner, you're going to do chain 3 chains, which is considered the first double crochet, another 3 double crochets, that's 2, total of 3, and a total of 4. Then you're going to chain 4, and you're going to do 4 more double crochets in the same chain space, which is the corner. Two, 3, and 4. Okay. You're going to chain 2, 1, 2, and then you're going to do another 4 double crochets on the next 4 chain space. You're going to do 4 double crochets, chain 4, and 4 double crochets all in that same space. That's 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 4 more double crochets in that same chain 4 space. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Chain 2, 1, 2, and once again the same thing again. You're going to do 4 double crochets, chain 4, 4 double crochets. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 4 double crochets again. 2, 3, and 4. This is what you have so far. We're going to do the other corner. Chain 2, 1, 2, and we're going to do another 4 double crochets, chain 4, 4 double crochets for the other corner. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 chains, another 4 double crochets, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, now we're going to do chain 2, 1 and 2, whoops, 1 and 2, and we're going to slip stitch to the top of the chain 3. 1, 2, 3, up here. You see how the yarn is roving? It can be a little difficult sometimes. And slip stitch. Okay, this is what you should have so far, and this is where things change a little bit. Okay, in normal granny squares you would slip stitch, but we're not going to do that from this moment forward. From this point forward, what we're going to do is we're going to chain 5, and that counts for 1 double crochet and chain 2. Okay, so let's get going. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is what you're going to do every time you start a new row. Okay, this is how you're going to start it. Then you're going to do in this corner again 4 double crochets, chain 4, 4 double crochets again. Okay, one, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 more double crochets in that same chain space, in the corner space. And this is the only place you're going to be doing 4, 4, 4. 3 and 4. Okay, what I meant by 4, 4, 4 is 4 double crochets, 4 chains, 4 double crochets. Okay, then you're going to chain 2. Okay, and in the last double crochet of the prior 4 double crochet bundle here, you're going to do 1 double crochet. Okay, on top of that last one. Chain 2. You're going to do another double crochet on top of the first double crochet of the next 4 double crochet bundle here. Bundle is not the word I'm looking for. It's the 4 double crochet group. You guys know what I mean. Another chain 2, and now you're back in the square, in the corner, so you're going to do 4, 4, 4. 4 double crochets. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 more double crochets in the same chain space. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Chain 2, 1, 2, double crochet in the last, on top of the last double crochet of the 4 double crochet, that's cluster, that's the word I was looking for, the 4 double crochet cluster below. So you do a double crochet on the last one, chain 2, and then double crochet on the first double crochet of the 4 double crochet cluster below. Chain 2, and now you're at a corner again. So every time you're in a corner, what are you going to do? 4, 4, 4. 4 double crochets, 4 chains, and 4 double crochets again. This is 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 double crochet, 2 double crochets, 3 double crochets, 4 double crochets, chain 2. Once again, we're looking for the cluster below, and we're going to put a double crochet in the last double crochet. Chain 2. Once again, we're going to do a double crochet on the first of the cluster below. Chain 2, and you are once again in the corner. Let me move this aside. And what are we going to do? 4, 4, 4. 4 double crochets. Chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 double crochets again in that same chain space in the corner. Chain 2 and a double crochet in the last double crochet of the cluster below. Chain 2, double crochet on the, oh wait, no, we've reached the beginning, so we're gonna just do, you do your chain 2 and you're gonna slip stitch to the 3rd chain, which is considered the top of your double crochet. So this is what we got thus far. Okay, so what we're going to do now again is we're going to chain 5. Once again, the chain 5 is going to be considered a double crochet and chain 2. Okay, but this time we have a cluster here, so we're going to do a double crochet on the first double crochet of the cluster, and then we'll move to the corner. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm not sure if you guys can hear the thunder rolling out there, but it looks like it's thundering pretty loudly. Unless it's fireworks, which is possible. So we'll put double crochet on the first double crochet of that cluster. Now we chain 2 and we are back in another corner. So we're going to do 4, 4, 4. Your corners will always be 4, 4, 4. So 3 and 4 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4. And 4 more double crochets. Chain 2. Once again a double crochet in the last double crochet of this cluster below. Chain 2. Double crochet on top of this next double crochet, chain 2, double crochet on top of the next double crochet, oops, chain 2, double crochet on the beginning crochet of this 4 double crochet cluster, chain 2, and you are back in a corner, this corner right here. So that means we're going to do what? 4, 4, 4. 4 double crochets, 4 chains, and 4 double crochets again. I'm sorry if I'm going a little fast, guys. You can slow down the video or just pause it, which is really what I do most of the time too when I'm doing watching a tutorial. Another 4 double crochets. Chain 2, and double crochet on the last double crochet of this cluster below. Chain 2, double crochet on the next double crochet, chain 2, double crochet on the next double crochet, chain 2, double crochet on the first double crochet of the cluster, chain 2, and we are back in a corner where we're gonna do 4, 4, 4. Okay, and basically this is it, guys. This is what you do, and you make it as big or as small as you would like based on your measurements. So once again, I would recommend that you measure your body from shoulder to shoulder. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that should give you a good measurement as to how big you want your square to be for your front and for the back. And you will do 2 panels. See, this is where we are so far. So now we're going to chain 2, 1 double crochet here, 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 and then we're back in the corner. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. I'll do that, and then I'll do 1 more row, and then I think that you guys probably got it, because I know you guys are all super smart, and I know that if I can do this, you guys most certainly can do this. Good. Chain 2. It's difficult working with a larger hook than you would normally be using with a size 1 yarn, but once again, because it's roving, we have no choice. So now we're in the corner again, so chain 2 and 4, 4, 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, and 4, chain 2, double crochet this last double crochet of this cluster below, double crochet on the next double crochet, always chaining 2 after each double crochet. And here we've reached once again the last stitch, so we're going to slip stitch 1, 2, 3 on the third, and here you go again. You've done another row. You see how it starts to become more lacy and lacy. If you use a thin yarn, it's really it's very drapey and very open, as you can see. So we're gonna do 1 more row just to make sure you guys got it. And once again, we are going to chain 5, which is considered a double crochet and a chain 2. We're gonna then double crochet on top of this double crochet. We're gonna chain 2. We're gonna crochet on top of this first double crochet in the cluster. We're gonna chain 2, and then we're gonna do 4, 4, 4. Okay. So let's get going with this row. And then I think from that point on, I think you guys got this. And it's basically every row is going to be exactly the same. It's just going to continue to grow through 2, 3, 4, 5, double crochet, top of the next double crochet, chain 2, double crochet on top of the first double crochet of this cluster, chain 2, and we're going to do a 4 4 4 corner. Two, 3, oops, 4, 1 2 3 4, and 4 more double crochets, 1 2 3 and 4. Remember, chain 2, 1 2, double crochet on the last double crochet of that cluster, chain 2, we're going to double crochet top of the next double crochet, chain 2, double crochet on top of the next double crochet, chain 2, another double crochet on top of the next double crochet, oops, chain 2, double crochet on top of the next double crochet, chain 2, double crochet on the first double crochet of this corner cluster, chain 2, and then you have your corner, which is 4 4 4. Four double crochets, 1 2 3 4 chains, and 4 double crochets, chain 2. Now we're going to do another double crochet on the last double crochet of that cluster, chain 2, double crochet on every double crochet, chain 2. We're going to double crochet on top of every single double crochet. Until we reach the corner, and then we're going to do a double crochet on the first of the cluster, chain 2. So it's on the first of the cluster when you're coming to it, and the last of the cluster when you're leaving the corner, chain 2, and then 4 4 4, 4 double crochets, again 4 chains, 4 double crochets, 1 2 3 4, and 4 double crochets again, 1 2 3 4, chain 2, double crochet on the last double crochet of this cluster, chain 2, double crochet on top of each single double crochet, chain 2, chain 2, chain 2, and this once again is in the beginning cluster, the first double crochet. We're going to do a double crochet, chain 2, and we are back at a corner. So we are back at a corner. we're almost at the end, you see. Super lacy, so it's, you know, it may need to block. Okay, so let's go ahead and finish a little bit that's here, and then you guys can keep going, like I said, as big as you want. Okay, so we did the double crochet, chain 2. Now we're doing a corner, which is 4, 4, 4. Of course, you would choose, you know, whatever yarn you decide to use. Make sure you use the hook that is appropriate for that. That's why I say it's much easier to do, because it's based on measurement. So you just make the piece for the front and the back as big as or small as you need it. Once we start working on the collar and the trim, which is basically whatever you want to do to it, it's really a free there's no specific as to how you need to do it. If you want something simple, you can do something simple. If you want something more elaborate, you can do something more elaborate. So chain 2, double crochet on this last double crochet in this cluster, chain 2, double crochet on the next double crochet, chain 2, double crochet on the next double crochet, chain 2, and now we've reached the beginning. Once again, 1, 2, 3, we're going to slip stitch to the 3rd chain, and there we go. Once again, we have continue to grow our square, and this is basically what you do. You just continue to go around and around and around and around, make it as big as you want. Once again, measure from shoulder to shoulder. It's a good indication of how wide, how big your square needs to be in the front and in the back. And then you will do 2 triangle panels, which I will show you in the next clip. So good luck with the squares, and I will be right back to show you how to do the triangle. Okay? Good job, guys. Keep up the good work. Okay, guys, we're gonna go ahead and work on our triangle panels. Once again, you will need two triangle panels, 2 square panels. So once you have decided, or once you've done your square panels, you will notice the number of rows that you have. Once you have completed your square panels and you have determined the number of rows that you needed to make the square the size for you, you will then do the same number of rows in the triangle panel. So let's go ahead and start with a slip knot. Let's go ahead and chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's slip stitch into this first chain. And chain 3. Consider your first double crochet. You're going to do 3 more into the center of that chain. That would be 2. That would be 3. And that would be 4. If you want to work in your tail end, you're more than welcome to do that. I am leaving it for later because this yarn is so fine that it's easier if I just sew it in afterwards. I'm gonna chain 4, 2, 3, 4, creating a corner, and another 4 double crochets. See what I mean? Just try to keep it out of the way. Sorry guys, that's 2, that's 3, and that's 4. Okay, chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, another 4 double crochets, 1, 2, 3, 4, another chain, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. This will be our third corner, making it a triangle. So I'm going to slip stitch 1, 2, 3 on the top on the third chain. And there you have it. There's your triangle. It's upside down, but it's a triangle nevertheless. Okay, and just like we did with the square, we are going to slip stitch until we reach the first chain 4 space. Okay, I like to slip stitch on every space so that there's no gaps or gathering per se of yarn. I'm not sure if it makes sense, but so I like to slip stitch in every chain basically. Okay, once we reach that chain 4 space, we go into chain 3, which is considered our first double crochet, and then we're going to do another 3 double crochets. We're going to do a chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, another 4 double crochets, chain 2. In this next corner, we're going to do another 4, 4, 4. 4 double crochets, four chains, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 double crochets again, chain 2, going to that next corner. Once again, we're going to do 4, 4, 4. 4 double crochets, 4 chains, and 4 double crochets again. And this you will do the first 2 rows, remember, are a little bit different. From the 3rd row on, it changes slightly. 1, 2, 3, 4. Did I do the 4 one? Yeah, I did. And then the other 4 double crochet. And we're going to chain 2, and now you're going to slip stitch to the top of the chain 3. 1, 2, 3. Slip stitch, and here's your triangle now starting to grow. Okay, So what we're going to do now, once again like we did in the square, we're going to chain 5, which is going to be considered 1 double crochet and a chain 2. That's going to bring us to the corner, and then we're going to do 4 4 4, 4 double crochets, 4 chains, and 4 double crochets. Okay, 1 2 3 4 5, consider double crochet, chain 2, and into the corner we're going to do 4 4 4, 4 double crochets, 4 chains, and 4 double crochets again. And just remember that in the chain 4 space, you're always going to do a 4 4 4 combination, because those will be your corners. 4, yeah. Chain 2, and just like we did in the square, we're going to do a double crochet in the last double crochet of this cluster below. And we're going to do a chain 2, and we're going to do a double crochet in the first double crochet of the next cluster. Chain 2. Now we're back in the corner, and we're going to do what? 4 4 4. 4 double crochets, chain 4, and 4 double crochets again. Chain 2. Then we're going to once again do a double crochet in the last double crochet on this cluster below. Gonna chain 2. If I forget to do something, guys, make sure you tell me, stop me. I'm trying not to skip over anything or forget anything. Okay, double crochet on the first double crochet of the next cluster, chain 2, and another corner, which we're going to do a 4 4 4 combination. Chain 2, double crochet on the last double crochet of the previous cluster, chain 2, and we're at the beginning. And what do? We're going to slip stitch to the third chain. 1 2 3, slip stitch, and we are done with this row. See, guys, how it's growing? Okay. Once again, now we're going to do another chain 5, which is a double crochet with a chain 2. Then we're going to do a double crochet on the first double crochet of this cluster, chain 2, and then we're going to do a 4 4 4 on this corner right here. Okay, see, in every corner you're going to do 4 4 4, 4 double crochets, chain 4 4 double crochets. Okay, let's keep going. Two, 3 4 5, double crochet on the first double crochet of this cluster, chain 2, and 4 double crochets, chain 4 and 4 double crochets. Guys, it is raining so hard outside. I don't know if you guys can hear it, but it is pouring. It's actually July 4th. And it is raining cats and dogs out there. So double crochet, chain 2, double crochet. Chain, double crochet on the next double crochet, chain 2, double crochet on the first double crochet of this cluster, chain 2, we're at another corner, 4, 4, 4. Two, 3, 4, another 4 double crochets, chain 2, double crochet in the last double crochet of that cluster, chain 2, double crochets on top of each of the double crochets on the pie row, chain 2, chain 2 on the first of this cluster, whoops, chain 2, and the corner again we're doing 4, 4, 4. Let me grab this yarn correctly, guys. Like I said, this thread is so thin, and then it's roving, so not the easiest yarn, but it's gonna come out very pretty once it's done. 1, 2, 3, 4. I got this yarn at clearance through Ice Yarn, and I just love the colors. Chain 2, double crochet in the last double crochet of the cluster, chain 2, double crochet the next double crochet, chain 2. Oh, we've got to the beginning. 1, 2, 3. Ooh, did you hear the thunder? And slip stitch. There we go, guys. And basically that's what you do. You just keep going. Again, you do chain 5, which is your beginning. You begin each row with a chain 5. That is equivalent to double crochet and a chain 2. Then double crochet, chain 2, double crochet on this first one of the cluster, chain 2, get to the corner, 4, 4, 4 combination, 4 double crochet, chain 4, 4 double crochets, and you keep going as just keep growing your project. Okay, now I will show you really quick I have done sure if you can see it very well. Let me see if I can pull out a little bit. That's as far as it goes. Maybe if I can see if we can do this. Okay, so see, once you've completed your squares as big as you want it, you're going to count the number of rows from the beginning. Okay, on this one that I'm doing right now, I did 21 rows. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. So once I got it to the size that I wanted, I counted to see how many rows. And then when I did my triangle, which my triangle is here, see, if you count, it's a little hard to see because it's green on green, but see if I can. From the center, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. So now, because it's triangle, for some reason you don't get the same exact number of spaces when you line them up. So when it becomes time to sew them together, you just have to make sure that the beginning and the corners are well matched, and then just make sure everything else is sewn in. But we'll get to that as we continue to work on our project. We'll go ahead and the next clip, I will go ahead and show you how to put it together. Okay? So keep on working on your project, guys, and I'll see you in the next clip where we'll begin to put it together. Okay? Okay, so we finished our 4 panels, and I'll try to show you as best as I can. I have sewn together, and the way that I do it, because this yarn is so thin, I just do single crochets along the seam. So with the 4 panels, you're going to be having a total of 4 seams that you have to do. So I've done 3 of them already, and I'm leaving 1 to do with you guys. Let me show you. Sorry guys, I know it's hard to see, but let me see if I can position this so you can see. Okay, this is the one triangle I still need to complete. You see, I still need to do this seam right here, and then the other triangle that I had to do is over here. You see there's one seam here, and here's the other seam. It's a triangle. I can't really see. Let me see if I can go further. I don't think I can go further. I can only go closer. I'm as far as I can go, unless I do this a little bit. Let me see. Hold on guys, so I can adjust it just a little bit. Kind of can see the triangle, and so these two have been seamed all the way to the end. Now I just want to clarify something. When you do your 20 or 19 or 18 rows that you're going to do for your particular size, the triangle is not going to have, let me see if I can explain this. For instance, let me come over here and show you on this one that I have to do. Okay, here's my square, which we are going to secure to the triangle. Okay, this particular panel, and this particular panel, although they both have the same number of rows, for whatever reason, when you line them up, the triangles always short one little square, So I kind of try to line them up in such a way where they are equal. And I've always found that for some reason the triangle is always one little hole short. I'm not sure if it's because of the shape and the fact that in the beginning you actually do 3 corners versus 4, and that may have an impact on the count. I'm not a math whiz, and for those of you who are, you may be able to tell me and figure out as to why that happens. But nevertheless, what I do is I just sew along the way, keeping an eye on my ends, making sure both my ends finish up evenly. You may have to adjust it in the middle somewhere, a little here, a little there, but ultimately you just want the ends to meet. Okay, it is a poncho, it is going to drip and it is going to pull, so or a capelet, however you want to call it, so it's going to be fine. So I'm going to take my stitch marker off, and this is basically what I do to start. Once again, making sure my corners are aligned. This is my triangle corner, which I have already sewn on this side. So I am going to now sew this other side. What I do is the following. Now you can do it whichever way you would like, and you can use whatever stitch you would like to do your seam. I like doing it this way, especially I've done it different ways, but I like doing it this way because both the panels don't have the same number of little squares. It gives me a better control to make sure it is as even as possible. If I were to do it in the stitch, because basically what I do is the following. Let me just go ahead and show you. I'm going to do a single crochet, and then I'm going to go in my first stitch here, and then I skip one, and then I go into the third one, and then I do the same on the other one, which is the same panel. And then once I get to these little squares here, I usually just do 2 in each square, tucking in my tail from the little knot that I did before, and then I just go down and seam it. If you want to seam it differently, it's totally up to you. This is the way I do it, because especially with this yarn, because it's so thin, I don't want to really stitch into the border because I don't want to pull on it. So I feel that by actually single crocheting both the edges together, it gives me a stronger seam. So I'm just going to go down the row. Sorry. Tucking in my other yarn, making sure I'm not using it. I've done that before. And I just basically go down simple enough, and just I do 2 in each little chain space, basically 2 single crochets into the same chain space, always making sure that my ends are aligned. Now there will come a point where you will have to kind of jump, because like I said, the triangle doesn't have the same number of boxes that the square does. So what I do is I just kind of keep checking it as I am seaming the ends, and just making sure that I am pretty lined up. At some point what I'll do is I will kind of get out of the little pattern that I'm in, just so that I can kind of shift it, and making sure that at the end I am perfectly at the end. A good way of doing this too is just putting stitch markers down every 5th box, just kind of so you know where you're at or how you want to seam it, with stitch markers along the way, and it's a good guide. But this pattern is very forgiving. See, I have another stitch marker here, and this is one of my ending rows. You see the yarn from when I finished that panel, so I am just gonna actually tuck that in as well, and just keep going. Make sure that I'm on frame. Continuing to check to make sure I'm gonna finish end to end, corner to corner. Keep tucking this yarn in. Where did it go? It's right here. So much green. Also the fact that it is a roving style yarn. You know, there's some areas that may be thinner, heavier. The yarn may pull more. So like I said, the pattern is very forgiving, and as long as your corners line up, that's really all you need to worry about. And even if they don't line up, once you start actually working on your the trim of your collar and the trim in the end, in the bottom trim, you can still hide a multitude of sins when it comes to maybe not finishing exactly end to end or corner to corner. So don't be so hard on yourself. Just enjoy the process. Believe it or not, this particular capelet I made a lot too big, and I did that on purpose. Once I am done making my capelet or poncho, whatever you want to call it, see, I'm just making sure I'm lining up so that I am kind of finishing up corner to corner. And making sure you guys still see what I'm doing. Sorry if I'm off frame. Trying to stay. So here, once again, I'm in the little cluster that's in the corner. I would just go into the stitches, of course, because there's nowhere else to go. And then on the end, I'll do one final crochet here. And cut my yarn, seam it off, take my stitch marker, and now all my panels are together. You can kind of see here. Let's see how the triangle is. This is basically where one of the arms will go, because it is the triangle portion goes over the arm, and on the other side it's the other triangle right here. Let's see, all seamed. Like I was saying, I made this quite big. This opening here for the head is extremely big. Now if you make this and this happens to you, once again, do not stress over it. You will now, because now the next step is going to be to single crochet along the border, which is along the neck border, so that we can do a nice clean trim around the neck. This is a great opportunity for you to cinch it in, or in my case I did it a little bit large on purpose, maybe too larger than I wanted to, but nevertheless, part of the reason why I did it a little larger is because you guys know that I'm a wash and wear kind of gal. I do not hand wash anything. I don't have the space or room to be hand washing and hanging up to dry. My washer and dryer is in the garage, and so is my husband's shop, so I don't have a laundry room per se. So I don't do, you know, hand washing. Yes, I can hand wash in the tub, but it's just not me. That's just not the way I function. So I'm a wash and wear kind of girl. So I will this is going to go in the washer. It is going to go in the dryer, probably in low heat, but it's going to go in the dryer nevertheless. And I expect it to shrink quite a bit because it is 80% cotton and 20% acrylic. So I do expect it to shrink quite a bit. So hence the reason why I decided to make it bigger than the norm. I am going to, however, once we go into the next part of this, we're going to start working on the collar. And basically what we're going to do, just if you want to get a head start, is we're going to do single crochets all the way around the top part of the piece. You can do single crochets. If you prefer to do half double crochets, you can do whatever you want. And this is, like I said, a great opportunity to cinch it in. If you feel it's a little bit bigger than you would want, you can, this is the perfect time to do 2 half double crochets together and kind of cinch it in a little bit, or 2 single crochets together and cinch it in a bit, little by little. That way it's totally up to you, but it can be done. It's just going to be a little bit, probably a little gathered, depending how much you pull together, but it's an opportunity for you to kind of adjust it at that point. So don't stress over it. If it's a little bit big off the shoulder, then it just becomes a little bit of a sexy piece, guys. So I am going to pause the video and we will come back and start working on our collar, or not our collar, but our, yeah, I guess the top trim. Okay, so now we're going to start working on the collar portion of it. I like to start just before one of the triangle corners. Okay, in this case what I'm going to do is I'm going to do two singles together. So I'm going to, I actually like to just do a little knot the yarn into that I'm going to be working in, just to the first space. I'm going to bring it in, and then I'm going to bring it into that corner, and then single crochet, then into the next single crochet. Now I'm gonna do 2 single crochets in each space. These little corner spaces here, I'm gonna do 1 single crochet in each of these little clusters. you're only gonna have I think it's gonna be 1, 2, 4 little clusters that you run into. So try to work that in. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then single crochet, single crochet, skip the chain, 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 single crochet. You see what I'm telling you? Doing this is going to gather up the trim quite a bit. So even if it's a little big, you don't need to fret. And if it's just perfect and you don't want it, then you can actually do your single crochets on every single chain if you feel that the collar size is perfect. Like I said, for me, this particular one is a little bit big, so I am going to do the single crochets just on the chain spaces. Then when I do my next row, I'll do half double crochets on those single crochets. And that's really up to you. You can choose any color trim you want. Once again, the pattern is very forgiving, and it's all about what you like and what you prefer. If you want to do a crab stitch, you can. If you want to do a scallop stitch, you can. It's really up to you. I'm a very simplistic person when it comes to this kind of wearable. I don't care for too much like frou-frou trims. I love them. I love when other people make them. I love when other people wear them. But for me, I'm not too much of that kind of individual. You guys know that I'm a very simple, easygoing, jean kind of wearing girl. And unless I'm actually going to a special function where it's a formal attire situation, I'm always very casual. Even when I go to church, I'm very casual. I'm grateful that I go to a church where flip-flops and jeans are accepted. Because that's usually what I'm wearing. Once again, I'm still going around, almost reaching my other corner. You can fast forward if you want. I'm gonna work it all the way around. And then I will pause it. And I will probably come back and show you what I did after the single crochets. See, I'm at this corner here. Oh, sorry. So here once again we're going to do the 4 double crochets on this little 4 double crochet cluster. I did, oops, Sorry guys, I did this incorrectly. And then 2 double crochets here. Once again, double crochet on the cluster, and then we are going to 2 double crochets on each chain 2 space. This is going to give you a good foundation to, once again, do whatever you want. You can do single crochets all the way up. You can do another row of single crochets, which is probably what I'm going to do, and then half double crochets, and then 2 more rows of single crochets. And I'll probably end up with trying to do a crop stitch. So I will do 2 single crochet rows, 1 half double crochet row, 2 single crochet rows, and then finish with a crop stitch. So I'm doing my second leg of the collar, almost reaching the end. And you can work this also, this collar. If you like working in the round, you can work it in the round. If you want to go back and forth, you can. Totally up to you. I will probably work it in the round. It's very simple. And like I said, you know, the fact that you're only putting stitches in the chain 2 boxes, you're actually also reducing a little bit, you're gathering a little bit the collar, which actually you do want in a poncho or a capelet. I'm almost at the end here. Wasn't sure if I was going to do this all the way with you guys, but might as well. You guys can fast forward if you're not interested in seeing me crochet along the trim, or if you feel you already know what you want to do, by all means. Did I do 2? Yeah. Here we're back again at that little 4 double crochet cluster. I'm just going to okay, so here I've reached the corner, so I'm just going to go in here. I'm going to chain 1, you know what, sorry guys, I'm going to go to this first stitch here and do a slip stitch, and chain 1, and then I'm going to once again go and do a single crochet in each stitch. So I'm going to pause the video and I will meet you once you get back to the beginning. Okay guys, I've done my second row of single crochet. As you can see, the trim is starting to look a little bit more finished. And once again, I'm going to slip stitch into that corner chain. Now I'm just going to chain 2 and half double crochet on every stitch. Oops, let me go ahead and make sure I do it on this one so there's no gaps. So I'm going to do half double crochet. So I'm going to do, once again guys, all around. Sorry, that wasn't on frame. Half double crochets. Once again, if you feel it's a little bit too big, you can every few do half double crochet 2 together. It's kind of cinch it. I would probably choose to do it in the corners and maybe in a couple little spots, just so that it's not gathering on you too much, and it won't be noticeable if you just do one here, one there. But yeah, you'll get the result that you need, which is to reduce the size of the collar. Once again, mine, I made it on purpose a little big because I suspect that this bad boy is going to shrink. And if it shrinks, I'm okay with it because I made it big. If it doesn't shrink, then it'll be big. I may have to gift it to somebody who could wear it. We'll see. So yeah, there we go. Now you can go ahead and do another if you want your trim, your collar trim thicker. You can go ahead and or wider. You can go ahead and do another row of half double crochets. I may do that myself. We did 2 single crochets. We may go ahead and do 2 half double crochets and then 2 single crochets and ultimately the crab stitch. Totally up to you guys. But once again, like I said, this is an easy pattern. You can adjust it to what you like, so there's no right or wrong. Just do what you like to do. If you prefer to use treble crochets, you do that. If you prefer to do double crochets, you do that. If you don't want to use nothing but single crochets and you want to do 10 rows of single crochets, then you do that. It's totally up to you and what you prefer working with, what you like to do, the way you like to see it. You prefer stitches. Some people just prefer to do half doubles. Some people prefer just to do doubles. It's totally up to you. So just have fun with it. Play around with the stitches. If the collar is the size that you want, maybe you can do stitch 1, skip 1, stitch 1, skip 1, and give it a different look. So totally up to you. Anyway guys, I will meet up with you again once we finish this row. You know what? Why don't we just go ahead and meet up once we finish whatever it is you want to do with your collar. Like I said, at this point you can do whatever you want. I think I'm gonna do 2 single crochets, which I already did, 2 double crochets, 2 half double crochets, which is I'm working on my first half double crochet row right now, and I'm getting out of frame, guys. You need to tell me when that happens. And then we'll go ahead and finish up with 2 single crochets and ultimately a crab stitch. So I will come back to you guys. I'm gonna pause the video and I'll come back when I have all of that finished. Okay, just continue to have fun with it. Remember, there's no right or wrong. It's all whatever you prefer to do. So I'll come back to you once we are all done with our collar trim, and we can share what it is we've ended up doing. Okay? Okay, so I have finished my collar, and as you can see, I did 2 single crochets, 2 half double crochets, 2 single crochets, and then I finished off with a crab stitch. Very simple, not much to it. And now we are going to work on the trim, the bottom trim. Once again, you guys pick whatever you guys want to do. In fact, if you guys want to tie on to one of these tails and just continue to do your single crochets all around your border, you can. Once again, it's very easy pattern. You don't need to stress over it. It's going to shape itself. There's another tail here you can use, but we have to basically do the bottom trim. And once you start, you can actually work in all these tails as well. So yeah, so I am going to see if this yarn will allow me to. You may hear my dogs in the background. I have one that is always snoring. She's always sleeping. She's very old. She's always sleeping, and every time she sleeps, she snores. So if you guys ever hear any snoring in any of my videos, that is Bailey snoring. So we're going to make a knot here. Gonna make another knot here. We are going to pull these together. Tighten it up one more time just to make sure it's secure. Pull it hard. Then I just go ahead and trim off the excess. And once you're ready to go, you can just go ahead and once again, I'm going to do single crochets in every one of these clusters, the double crochet clusters. Make sure I'm on frame, and then 2 double crochets in each chain 2 space. Once again, this is going to tie things in a little bit and finish off the ends nicely. Now in the collar, we did some stitches to kind of cinch in a little bit the collar, but in the bottom you really don't need to do that. So we're just going to go on the round. Once again, you can do whatever border you want. If you just want to do single crochets, if you want to do a picot stitch, however you want to do. If you want to do a shell stitch, shell border stitch, whatever you want to do. But we're just going to do, or at least for me, I'm going to do single crochets, 2 single crochets in each of the boxes below in the trim. It's a lot to do, so how about if I go ahead and catch you guys at the end, okay? And like I said, I'm choosing to do my single crochets in the chain 2 spaces. But if you guys want to do your single crochets in the actual stitch, you can do that as well. There's, like I said, there's no right, there's no wrong. Everything is based on your likes and what you would prefer. Very easy pattern. There's no right or wrong. Once again, just make it your own. This is a free tutorial. I'm not gonna do a written pattern for this, so tweak it and make it your own. I'm gonna try to come up with other designs based on this lacy granny square and see what other wearables or items we can come up with that are not your typical items. So keep an eye out for that. Of course, you guys know that I work basically full-time, part-time but full-time. In other words, I'm always available for the office, but I do work from home, so sometimes I'm extremely busy with my day job and it keeps me away from the crochet. So of course things cannot be put out as quickly as I would like, but they will come out. So I will see you at the end and then we'll go from there. Okay guys, I just finished my border. Basically what I did was 4 rows of single crochet. This yarn is so thin, however, that it's still a very narrow edging. I'm not gonna do any more to it. This is as far as it's gonna go, only because the yarn is so busy. It's a solid color, but there's a lot of busyness to it with the splatter of different colors, that I'm going to just go ahead and leave it like that with the collar crab stitch, and then the trim, just some 4 single crochets. And it actually looks really pretty, just so simple, but it looks so pretty. The yarn is so thin that it really gives it a really pretty look. So guys, that's basically it. I will post pictures at the end of the video, the finished products on the mannequin, so you guys can see what it looks like. I am gonna wash it and dry it. Oops, sorry guys, just hit the camera, just to see how the yarn reacts, and then I will give you a report on that as well. So for now guys, thank you for hanging out with me. Thank you for following this tutorial. I hope it was helpful. It is my first tutorial, so any constructive feedback will be most welcome. And just for now guys, peace from the Yarny Cave. I love you. Have a blessed day, and we will talk to you soon. Bye.